Facebook special ad categories. What are they? Who is required to use them? And what restrictions does it cause for our Facebook and Instagram ads when we are using Facebook special ad categories? I'm going to answer all of those questions and show you how to use them. So what is a special ad category? Well, it's an option that you absolutely must select when you're creating your ads if your ads fall into one of these 4 categories. Social issues, elections, or politics, that's one category. They just lump it all in there. Credit is another category. Employment is the 3rd category. And the 4th one is housing. Let's look into some examples on how to use the special ad category. There are a few different ways you can do it. One is by boosting a post. So if I click the Boost Post button here and open the Boost Post window, I have the option to add a special ad category. It's this one little tiny switch right here. I can switch it on, and then I have all 4 of the special ad categories in the drop down. So for example, if I was running an ad for real estate, I would select the housing ad category, and then that gives me some targeting restrictions. I don't have all of my options available to me, all the audiences available to me anymore. And then I can choose the rest of my options, and then I can hit Boost Post. Another way of doing it is creating an ad using Ads Manager. So from Ads Manager, I can click on the Create button. I can choose an objective, for example. And then at the campaign level, you'll find the special ad category switch right here. So I can switch this off, or switch it on, sorry. And then using the drop-down menu, I can choose whichever ad category I fall into. So for example, housing, I select that. And now there are certain options at the ad set stage that are no longer available. So another alternate option on how to create an ad using a special ad category is if you are creating an ad using Instagram. I'll drop some screenshots in here. If you select your post and you hit promote, and then you get to the screen where you can choose your targeting, you have an option to select those special ad categories right from within the Instagram app. So let's break each of them down. We're going to start with politics, social issues, or elections. So when it comes to elections or politics, that encompasses any type of ad that is for a candidate for public office, for a political figure, a political party, advocates for the outcome of an election of public office, or any ads about the election, referendum, ballot initiative, including go out and vote election campaigns. So that is a pretty broad sweeping stroke of pretty much anything that falls under the umbrella of politics means that you fall under that special ad category. Now, before we get into the rest of the ad categories, there are a couple extra little things that you need to do that us and the rest of the special ad categories don't need to. So if you're going to run ads for politics, you have some extra checks and balances in place that you have to run through before you're allowed to even use that category. That includes submitting your ID, your identification, your government ID to Facebook so that they can verify it. That process can take up to 24 hours and it can require some time. So give yourself some lead time. They're also going to ask you some more information about the organization that is paying for the ads, because you'll have to have tags and disclaimers added to those ads saying paid for by and the organization name. And you will also have those ads entered into the public ads library for 7 years. So a few extra little hoops that you have to jump through for political ads. So let's talk about social ads. What social issues? What falls into that category? Social issues are sensitive topics that are heavily debated, may influence the outcome of an election, or result in or relate to existing or proposed legislation. That includes ads about social issues that seek to influence public opinion through discussion, debate, or advocacy for or against important topics like health, civil rights, and social issues. If you are running ads related to social issues, you will have to check off the special ad category for social issues, politics, and elections. It's all under that one umbrella. So yes, you will need to use that special ad category. Next, what's included in the credit opportunity category? Well, credit includes credit card offers, auto loans, personal or business loan services, mortgage loans, and long-term financing. It also includes brand ads for credit cards, regardless of the specific offer. So if you are offering any type of opportunity for somebody to get access to credit or loans of any kind, you need to use the special ad category. Next up, employment. So if you're offering full-time jobs, part-time jobs, internships, any type of professional certification program, running ads for job boards or job fairs, ads detailing any types of perks that are included with a company that a company may provide, or any type of ad, regardless of the specific job offer, if it's related to giving somebody a job, it falls under that special ad category of employment. And lastly, we have housing. Housing is a hotly debated topic. Real estate. If you're a realtor, listen up. If you are a mortgage provider, listen up. You fall under this special ad category. This is anything related to listing the sale or rental of a home or apartment, homeowners insurance, mortgage loans, housing repairs, and home equity or appraisal services. So that's a lot that is covered off under these special ad categories. So if you're trying to run ads for any of these areas, so to recap, that's anything for social issues, elections, or politics, credit, employment, or housing, then you fall under this umbrella of the special ad categories. You must check off the special ad category when you are creating your ads. Otherwise, you're going to face ad rejections, possibly having your account shut down or having you restricted as an advertiser on the platform. We don't want that to happen. Stay compliant, use the special ad category, switch it on in the appropriate areas when you need to, and just be aware the responsibility is on you as an advertiser to use this. Now that we know what the special ad categories are, what does that mean? What do they do, and why do they even exist in the first place? Well, let's put it this way. Facebook advertising is very powerful when it comes to targeting. And with great power comes great responsibility. It puts a lot of power in the hands of advertisers to be able to discriminate against certain groups of people, whether it's through age, gender, location, certain personal attributes. So we don't want to be able to discriminate against people, especially when it falls into anything that could prevent them from getting ahead in life or having access to services in equal opportunity as everyone else. So in the past, when we had certain ads, we could target them to certain income levels or demographics, certain neighborhoods by zip code, for example. That is now gone. So now with the special ad category, when you have it checked off, what it does is it strips out a lot of the powerful targeting options in the back end of your Facebook ads, and we have to keep your ad targeting a lot more broad. So for example, some of the things that are stripped out when you use the special ad category, you can no longer target by zip code or postal code. That's no longer an option with the special ad category checked off. If you're going to target a geographic area, either by dropping a pin or targeting a city or region, you can only go as tight as a 15-mile radius. That's the minimum that you need to use, whereas the rest of us without the special ad category can go down as far as 1 mile radius or target by zip code or postal code. Also, you no longer have the option to use age or gender targeting, so you can't choose a specific age. It's going to be from 18 to 65 plus, male, female, and everyone else in between. So for example, if I leave this turned off, and let's go over to the ad set level, I'm going to show you here some of the targeting options that we do have if we're not using a special ad category. So here from the targeting, I can drop a pin radius and go as tight as 1 mile, or let's say, for example, I want to target by postal code. Let's go K0M. Giving my hometown a little love here. K0M, so I can type in a postal code and it will isolate just that postal code. I can technically go by different ages here. I can change my age range. I can edit my genders here. And then I can put in detailed targeting. So let's say dentist. Say I want to target someone with the job title of dentist. So right now I can see interests. If I scroll down, let's go interest, and then I can click on suggestions. There's dentist job title. So I have targeting options if I don't have the special ad category checked off. Now, if I go and I switch on that special ad category, so going back up to the campaign here, I'm going to switch that on, use that drop down. Let's choose one of these, let's say housing, for example, if I was going to run a real estate ad. And then if I come back to my ad sets, it's going to strip out a lot of those targeting options. So now it'll give me an error if I try to target by postal code. So I cannot do that. So say, for example, I wanted to drop a radius pin. I can go down here. If I want to, say, drop a pin, I can drop a pin anywhere. But notice how it automatically defaults to 15 miles. If I try to go less than that, I can't. If I was doing this without the special ad category, I could go as tight as 1 mile. So that's one of the restrictions. Right here, it's giving me an error. I can't target by that. I have to use 18 to 65 plus. I have to leave it wide open. I have to target all men and women. And if these targeting options will not be available. If I remove these, let's try that again. Dentist. So the closest I can go is a broad interest in dentistry in general. So I can't target dentist interest and I can't target dentist by job title, but I can target dentistry as a whole. So that's an example of how it has really slimmed down my targeting options. But that is where you go in the campaign level, switching on that special ad category. So if you have ads that are being rejected and that is the reason why, going into edit your campaign. So if I close that, for example, you logged into Ads Manager, you can come in here, you can hit edit on your campaign. It'll pull open that edit pane again. And then you can make sure you have your special ad category switched on and the right category selected. Detailed targeting. Some demographic, behavior, and interest options are also unavailable. And when we say some, what Facebook really means is most of them. It greatly reduces the depth of information that you have available to target by behaviors, interests, job title. It strips out so much of that targeting power in the back end of your Facebook ads and just gives us a handful of really, really broad categories that we can choose from. So you can't get too hyper-targeted with your ads using the detailed targeting. And lastly, audience expansion. Facebook has a feature within its ads network where you can check off a box and use audience expansion. So you set up your audience of who you would like to target. You can click off the audience expansion and Facebook will then take that and go out and seek even more people who are most likely to also meet that criteria. If you don't select audience expansion, Facebook is only going to focus on the people that you selected in your targeting for that ad. So that audience expansion feature is also unavailable when it comes to doing your special ad category ads. So this also impacts your lookalike audiences. Lookalike audiences are reaching people similar to those audience expansion. A lookalike audience is taking a source data, a source audience. So for example, let's say it was our website visitors. So if we have our website visitor audience and we want to create a lookalike audience of our website visitors, then Facebook in the back end is matching similar profiles that match multiple traits that are shared by your website visitors. So it can create a lookalike audience of those people. Now, when we fall under a special ad category, we can create what are called special ad category audiences. And you'll find those in your audience manager when you go through Ads Manager to create your Facebook ads. And what that does is basically creates a lookalike audience, but it doesn't allow you to target any deeper than age, gender. It strips out a lot of that targeting power again. So when we're using special ad categories, we are quite restricted. And I know some people, if you are not used to using them, you're going to throw your hands up in the air and say, well, then Facebook ads are useless. They're not good for me anymore. Wrong. Facebook ads are still incredibly powerful, and there are some ways that you can really work around the special ad categories and make it work in your favor. So let's talk about the power of retargeting. This is where having a system and a strategy in place for your Facebook ads is going to save you in the long run. It's also going to make your ads so much more effective and your audiences so much higher quality as time goes on. So imagine looking at your ad audiences in different categories. We have our cold audiences and our warm audiences. Keeping it simple, for example. Cold audiences are people who have never met you before. They don't know you. They're unfamiliar with you. It's their first time, their very first impression, the first touch point of seeing your ads come into their newsfeed. It really is making that first introduction. So that's a cold audience. And cold audience examples are when we're using that behavior and demographic targeting, searching by or for example, I might select people who are Facebook page admins as one of my detailed targeting options when I'm doing my ads. Well, people who are page admins don't necessarily know who I am, so that is a category that would be making a first impression. So how do we leverage the power of Facebook ad targeting while using the special ad category? Don't worry, not all is lost. I know if you've had the benefit of the power of using all of Facebook's targeting features and now you've had most of that stripped away, you probably want to throw your hands up in the air and say, well, then Facebook ads aren't going to work for me anymore. They will, they can, and they can work even better for you because this is going to force you to start thinking strategically and really harnessing the power of remarketing and retargeting. How are we going to do that? Well, let me recommend a strategy for you. Using the special ad category, our very first impression, our first touch point with people has to be quite broad. Our targeting can't be very narrow, so we need to target a very broad audience of people. If you put high quality content out in front of the right people that resonate with your brand, with your product, with your service, then those folks that are seeing that ad are going to engage with it. An engagement is a like, a click, a comment, a share. They're going to watch your videos past the 3-second mark, past the 15-second mark, maybe even to full completion of that video view. Those activities that people are taking, whether they're clicking, commenting, engaging, reacting, video views, all of those are activities that can then be retargeted. So once they've taken that action, they can fall onto a category, they can fall into an audience of people that we can then retarget with ads later on. So by casting out a wide net and putting out high quality content to an extremely broad audience, and then capturing all of the people who are engaging with that content, capturing them into their own audience, and then serving ads and retargeting people who are now on our warm audience because there's some familiarity. We're no longer making that first impression. They've been engaging with our content. That's our warm audience. We want to continue serving high quality content to these people and retarget them. So rather than spreading out all of your marketing budget and wasting it on so many people who may not be interested, create a strategy where you have a high-level, top-of-funnel campaign that is serving extremely broad content, but make sure it's high-quality content to attract the right people. And then invest a good amount of budget and time, energy, effort into creating content and serving content out to that warm audience of people who have already shown they're interested by giving us those engagements, those clicks, those likes, those reactions, those shares. That is going to help you foster and create and curate high-quality audiences over time. The more you repeat this cycle, the more you invest into this, the more you take the time to work on your targeting as far as keeping it broad and then creating your custom audiences and retargeting those folks, the more success that you are going to find with your Facebook ads. Now, I know that there are some advertisers who have been doing this for several years, well in advance of the existence of special ad categories, and doing this as a strategy. And what it's done is it's produced audiences that can produce more consistent returns for you as an advertiser compared to the yo-yo effect of advertisers who are just constantly bombarding cold audiences of people who don't know you and casting that net as broad and wide as you can and spending as much ad dollars as you can trying to make a sale on a cold audience. It doesn't work for everybody. It can work effectively if you are in e-commerce and if you have an item or a product that has very low commitment and a very short sales cycle, then yes, that can work for you. But for the majority of us, we really do need to implement a strategy where we are continually getting back in front of the people who are most interested in our services and products and make sure that we are staying present, top of mind, offering value, providing education, entertainment, and all those lovely things in the news feed, circulating with ads on a regular basis so that when the need arises, you are top of mind and that we've worked them through our system to the point where there's enough trust built up that when we are at the point where we would like to ask for a sale or ask for an email address or ask for any additional activity from that user that requires them leaving Facebook or Instagram, that we have a high quality audience of people ready to go. So my encouragement for you is do not be dismayed if you fall into one of these special ad categories. There are strategies that you can put in place that will help you get around this. I've seen it in play for several people. It can be effective, but it takes time, effort, energy, testing, budget. So you can do this. It's okay. I know the special ad categories can be a little bit daunting if this is your first time having to navigate them. I also want to caution you, if you do not select the special ad category and you're required to, you can have your ads rejected. And if your ads continually get rejected, then you can have your ad account shut down. If you get your ad account shut down, you lose all that valuable data and ad history, as well as access to your pixel that is probably collecting those high quality audiences of people for you. If that happens, you need to start a new ad account from scratch. If your ad account's shut down, you can also get your business manager account shut down, and that is not good for anybody. And last but not least, you as an advertiser could get restricted. So there are multiple levels of restrictions that you could be facing and consequences if you're not using the special ad category when you're required to. If you do have ads that are rejected, you can go and edit your ads. You can switch on the special ad category after the fact, and then you can resubmit your ads for approval and get those ads approved. I would definitely encourage you to deal with the ads and not let them sit rejected, but make sure that you're taking care of it, because the quality of your account, the ad account quality, matters. So regardless if you are creating ads using Ads Manager, regardless if you're boosting posts or creating ads directly off of Instagram, if you fall under one of those special ad categories, if your ad content is related to any of those 4 special ad categories, you are required to select the special ad category and use that for your ads. Unfortunately, yes, it does strip out some of the targeting power, but you have the power of being strategic and leveraging strategy to your advantage to create higher quality audiences in the long run that are going to produce better returns for you. I am Amanda Robinson. I am the Digital Gal, and that was everything you need to know about special ad categories for Facebook and Instagram ads. Whew, that's a lot of information to dump on you. If you do have questions about special ad categories, or more specifically questions about how to create a strategy to help you still leverage the power of Facebook ad targeting if you are falling into one of the special ad categories, reach out to me. You can find me everywhere, thedigitalgal.com, at thedigitalgal, everywhere around the web. And if you want to learn more about Facebook ads, to do Facebook ads for yourself, consider joining the Facebook Ads 4-Week Bootcamp training program. It runs several times a year. It's a live training program. I teach you ads from the ground up, how to create your ads using Facebook Ads Manager, how to do your audiences and targeting, how to do your own budget and strategy, which is really going to help you with these special ad categories, and finally, how to do your reporting and optimizing, so how to read those results and make your ads even better. If that's of interest to you, consider joining the Swift Kick in the Ads membership. That bootcamp's included with your membership, and I will see you over there.